Hi, I'm Jean Briese, and I am so excited to be with you today and acknowledge some amazing women who did amazing things during one of the most difficult times that we will ever see in our lifetime. I'm Jean Briese. I was the president for the NAWBO Phoenix chapter during the pandemic in 2020 and 2021. Normally, we would acknowledge these women at our gala, but we weren't able to do that because of the pandemic. And with all good intentions, we held out thinking that we would reschedule our gala, but that wasn't able to happen. That, however, is not going to stop us from acknowledging these women who did amazing things. And today I'm here to acknowledge 3 President's Award winners for the 2020-2021 NAWBO Phoenix year. The first person that I would like to acknowledge is Shellie Berry. In my year as president, not only did we have the pandemic and go into lockdown, we were scrambling crazy, trying to serve the needs of our members, trying to keep our members in business, trying to make sure that we were included on all of the task force that were going on to help small business owners. And then 1-2 hit, we had the racial injustice and the systemic racism playing out for us in violent ways that were emotional and hard on all of us who had already been hit by the pandemic. And during that time, Shellie Berry stepped up. She came to a board meeting because our board meetings are open for anyone to attend. And she spoke her truth and she challenged NAWBO board and me as the president onto, were we diverse? Were we inclusive? Were we keeping our businesses local? And I wanted to acknowledge the courage that it took for her to step up and speak out her truth during such a tumultuous time. And she did it with kindness, and she did it with the intent to help us all be better. She didn't do it with the intent to divide us. And so I wanted to acknowledge Shellie Berry for her courage and bravery and stepping up and speaking out and challenging us all to be better. She certainly made me a better leader, and she made NAWBO Phoenix better for her bravery. So my first award today goes to Shellie Berry.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Jean. This is truly an unexpected honor. I represent Gateway Bank, your local community bank for local small businesses. And so I thank them too for the opportunity to be a part of NAWBO Phoenix, to do what true community banks do, and connecting with the people in our community and to foster these business relationships that strengthen our community. NAWBO Phoenix does that too. So it's been an honor to be a part of NAWBO Phoenix and to be honored in this way. It takes courage to speak up and to step up in so much uncertainty and fear. And we experienced that in 2020 and in 2021. And the opportunity came for me. The time was right during that time for me to speak up. I wasn't holding back before that. I learned a little thing about wisdom. And actually wisdom taught me some things. And it taught me that my voice has the greatest impact when the hearer is ready to listen. And so uncertainty and fear during that time were like smoke alarms going off. So everyone was alert. The hearer was ready to listen. And so there's 3 ways I could have responded during that time. I could have frozen, I could have taken flight, but instead I chose to fight. I didn't fight in a sense that makes matters worse. It was to help put out the fire, like when smoke alarms go off in a home. When your house is burning and you are in the fight mode, that's what I did. I took action to help stop the fire. That's why I spoke up. And that's why I stepped up in the middle of so much uncertainty and fear. Using my voice was the tool of choice to pour into the ears of willing listeners in my sphere of influence. And that's how I spoke up to make a difference. You know, when we need to move forward, after uncertainty and fear takes place, it's time to move forward, right? And speaking up and stepping up That's a way of moving forward. And this is my little piece of advice to give to others who are in that place of uncertainty and fear, and they want to see how they can move forward. Do what I did. Your voice matters. Use your voice. NAWBO's vision honors this principle. Your voice makes a difference. I think sometimes we women, we minimize the power of our influence. You know, what you have now, where you are now, what you have accomplished and triumphed through to this point in your life, that's valuable and sufficient to make a difference. You know, I think we assign to fear more power than it really has. I mean, it has power, no doubt, but the emotion of fear does not have as much power as we often give it. I think its intent is to alert you, to help you, not to harm you. And when we get that, and when we believe that, then the right response to that is to speak up, use your voice, act on courage.
The next woman that I would like to recognize is Karen Russo. During the pandemic, we went into lockdown. Many of us were frightened. Many of us thought we were going to die. We didn't really know how to respond. We'd all been locked away. Some of us were in homes by ourselves, trying to run our business and be home alone. And as NAWBO Phoenix came together, Karen Russo was one of the first to step up and volunteer for anything that we put in front of her. We quickly all got on Zoom and learned how to use Zoom, and we led meetings for our members to give them the latest information that they needed. And Karen was part of that. Karen was part of putting together another program for our corporate partners whose challenges were different, but no less frightening. And Karen Russo, when the governor's task force was put together and we were trying to work to save small businesses all across the state of Arizona, Karen was one of the first to volunteer and show up to provide and share her knowledge and wisdom to help other Arizona businesses, not just women, but other small businesses across the entire state stay in business. She became a respected member of that community and they invited her back again and again. So to Karen Russo, who in large part efforts went unnoticed during the pandemic, but was crucial to so many women and so many small businesses across the state staying in business during this scary time. My next award goes to Karen Russo.
Thank you, Jean. It's such an honor to be awarded the President's Award here for NAWBO Phoenix for this year that was so challenging and yet, so important and so developmental for all of us. And you have really modeled that idea that leaders always find the right time to do the right thing, no matter how long it takes. I was surprised and delighted by this, so thank you so much. I feel like you recognized our individual commitment and contribution in a way that really matters, so thank you. And during a time of such uncertainty, where I tapped into to find the courage to keep going, to step forward, is that energy of solving a problem and doing it together is so satisfying. And ultimately, it's at the heart of the idea of supporting women in their businesses, is that we together think about who are the clients we're serving, who are the community that we are uplifting, and what needs to be done next. And so every time that we said we can do virtual meetings, or our corporate partners can get together in this way, or let's create something new, every time we did that, it was an affirmation of what's important to each of us individually and collectively. And what I would say for folks going forward is continue to tap into two things. Number one is, what's your why? What's the thing that is your guiding purpose, your mission, the thing that you personally are here to give, to share, to do? And then the second is continue to look for ways that you can contribute value. So if you know why you're doing it and you can see the value that you're contributing, then the resources and the strategies and the solutions always emerge. Thank you, NAWBO Phoenix.
And my final President's Award is going to April Tinhorn. Even before the systemic racism was played out across our country, diversity was already something I was passionate about. And as we were putting together the board for my year as president, I was intentional about choosing people and asking people to be on the board who were of diverse natures, who represented the community in which we live. And I asked April Tinhorn to join our board. And the reason I want to recognize April today is because once April got on the board and was in charge of programming, every time there was an opportunity for us to do something in the community, April simply asked the question, have you thought about including the Indigenous community? And I loved that she did that because the truth was I hadn't thought about it. But she always put that in as a choice. And because she did, NAWBO and the organizations that support the Indigenous communities across the state of Arizona and support women business owners came together. And we both expanded our connections and expanded our reach. Because April asked the question, we were able to get speakers from that community who we never otherwise would have known, which is exactly why I was looking to add folks to our board that were from those communities. April stepped up and in a very non-threatening way, just simply asked the question, have you thought? And I respect her and I appreciate the difference that it made in our community. And so my last award goes to April Tinhorn.
Thank you, Jean. I found my voice and stepped up during a time of uncertainty and fear because there really wasn't a choice. You know, the first month or two of pandemic, to be really transparent, all my clients went into cancellation or pending, you know, and that really was a moment of fear. And what I took during that moment is that week actually is I took time to feel the fear. That's one thing I would say is to even get to the point of being able to speak or move towards action is like, I believe a lot of us try to skip through and not feel it. And what I felt during that time was that I knew from other conversations that I wasn't alone. And that's what helped me find my voice and step up into action, is because I was taught, you know, during the times of uncertainty, help. The helpers are the ones that, you know, help move things to the next level. And on a personal level, that helps with fear, because then I didn't feel like things were uncontrollable, and it allowed me to be with others who were helpers and making things happen. And that is, to me, the essence of the National Association of Women Business Owners Phoenix chapter in almost their DNA, is that they are a group that, you know, helps others, and they utilize ways to help you in times of abundance and in times of like fear. So they were already doing things, and I knew that was where I needed to be. Being at the table at Phoenix NAWBO, I realized that there really hadn't been many voices of color at that table, and definitely not Native American women business owners. So that also was in harmony with our mission here at Tinhorn. And it was cool to see that as a collective organization, Phoenix NAWBO was about inclusion and about diversity, and utilizing all of our voices and ideas to create innovative solutions and provide opportunities for all of us. Because when one of us succeeds, all of us succeed. So thank you again, Phoenix NAWBO chapter, for this award.
Congratulations to all of the NAWBO Phoenix President Award winners. During one of the most tumultuous times that we will ever see in our lifetime, you stepped up in courage and bravery. You gave from the heart in selfless service to others. And that's what makes NAWBO Phoenix great. You are all to be commended for your contributions in helping us to become NAWBO Phoenix. Thank you.